Info Plus for genuine information.
Hello and namaste. I'm a host Rebecca Shetri and this is Info Plus on Himalaya Television, a national campaign to expand social security for informal and self-employed workers has officially begun. Launched by Social Security Fund Nepal in partnership with the International Labour Organization ILO Nepal, the campaign aims to bring millions of workers beyond the formal sector into the social security system. With the message, join Social Security for a secure future for you and your family. The Social Security Fund Nepal and the International Labour Organization ILO Nepal officially launched the national campaign on social security for informal workers and self-employed. The launch program was organized in the esteemed presence of Honorable Minister for Labour, Employment and Social Security, Mr. Rajendra Singh Bhandari, and along with senior government officials, development partners, trade unions, employer associations, civil society and media professionals.
सामाजिक सुरक्षा भनेको जहिले पनि मान्छेलाई हामीले P2P भन्छौं कि जन्मिनुभन्दा अगाडि बर्थभन्दा अगाडिदेखि मृत्यु पछिको अवस्थामा समेत एउटा आश एउटा विश्वास जसलाई हामी जहिले पनि राइटको कुरा गर्छौं चोइसको कुरा गर्छौं भोइसको कुरा गर्छौं र अन्ततः प्राइडको कुरा गर्छौं त्यो भनेको सामाजिक सुरक्षा नै सत्य हो कुनै पनि देशमा संसारमा जुन देशको नेशनल सेक्युरिटी स्ट्रङ हुन्छ त्यहाँ सोशल सेक्युरिटी स्ट्रङ हुनै पर्छ सोशल सेक्युरिटी स्ट्रङ भएन भने कुनै पनि देशको सार्वभौम सत्ता अखण्डता राष्ट्रियता बलियो हुन सक्दैन किनभने यो सबै कुरा अन्तत्वगत गरिबीसँग जोडिएको हुन्छ किनभने पहिला पहिला हाम्रो वैदिक कालमा चाहे रामायण हेरौं वा इस्लामिक धार्मिक कुराहरू हेरौं वा बाइबल हेरौं सबै हाम्रो रिलिजियस कुराहरूमा पूर्वीय दर्शनमा पश्चिमीय दर्शनमा पनि के छ भने कुनै न कुराको सोशल सेक्युरिटीका कुराहरू उपलब्ध छ सम्बोधन भएको छ तर त्यसका मोडालिटीहरूको बारेमा डिफरेन्ट भएको छ पहिला नेपालमा जे समस्या हुँदा नै पशुपतिनाथले रक्षा गरून् भन्थ्यो अहिले हामीले जे पढ्दा पनि गर्भावस्थामा रहेको अवस्था होला बिरामीको अवस्था होला एक्सिडेन्ट भएको अवस्था होला बेरोजगारीको अवस्था होला आफू अशक्त भएको बेला पेन्सनको अवस्था होला मृत्यु उपरान्त आफ्नो परिवारको लालन पोषणको कुराहरू बच्चालाई पढाइ लेखाइको कुरा सबै कुरामा हामी के गर्छौं भने सामाजिक सुरक्षाले रक्षा गरौँ त्यो भनेको सामाजिक सुरक्षा के हो भने आफूले सक्ने बेलामा योगदान गर्ने र नसक्ने बेलामा आवश्यक परेको बेलामा योगदान लिने भनेको सिम्पल फर्मुला हो
विश्वव्यापी रूपमा सफल प्रयोग हुनुका साथै आईएलओको समेत पहल प्रयत्न र सहयोगमा नेपालमा सरकार रोजगारदाता र श्रमिकको साझा सहमतिको दस्तावेजको रूपमा नै सामाजिक सुरक्षा कार्यक्रमहरू सञ्चालनमा भइरहेको जानकारी गराउन चाहन्छु 2075 साल मङ्सिर 11 गतेबाट शुभारम्भ भएको सामाजिक सुरक्षा कार्यक्रम स्थापनाको यो छोटो अवधिमा नै करिब 26.5 लाख नागरिकलाई कोषमा आबद्ध गराउनुका साथै करिब 18 अर्ब बराबरको रकम चाहिँ विभिन्न सामाजिक सुरक्षा बापत प्रवाह गरी कोषले आफूलाई योगदानकर्ताको बीचमा प्रमाणित गरिसकेको अवस्था यहाँ जानकारी गराउन चाहन्छु
I would like to first of all thank to the Social Security Fund and the ILO in Nepal for convening the launch of the national campaign on social security for informal workers and also for the self-employed. It is important to bring attention to such a crucial issue that affects the daily lives, dignity and security of millions of working people in the country. From the perspective of the European Union, social security is a right and it's also a forward-looking investment in people and in the economy. This is deeply rooted in Europe's own social model. As you can definitely see in the European Pillar of Social Rights, where the European Union affirms that workers have the right to adequate social protection regardless of the type and duration of their work. These principles are also universal, means they cover all the world. Therefore, it matters, of course, also in Nepal, because the realities of modern labor markets, including self-employment and informal work, require protection systems that reach to everyone. The European Union has a long-standing policy commitment in its development cooperation with partner countries like Nepal to support nationally owned social protection policies and systems, including social protection floors, which provide practical guarantees that nobody falls below a basic level of income security and access to essential services. Concretely, in Nepal, we proudly join forces on this important matter with the government of Nepal and with the UN agencies, especially with the ILO, as part of the activities that we fund and support under the program Empowered Women, Prosperous Nepal.
नेपालको श्रम बजारमा अनौपचारिक क्षेत्रको तथ्याङ्क हेर्दाखेरि धेरै ठुलो सङ्ख्या छ। आईएलओकै प्रतिवेदनले करिब 60 देखि 68 लाख श्रमिकहरू चाहिँ तपाईको अनौपचारिक क्षेत्रतिर आबद्धता भएको सङ्ख्या हामीले देख्न आउँछौँ। त्यो रेकर्डमा त छैन, तर एउटा प्रारम्भिक प्रतिवेदनले त्यसले बोलिरहेको छ। हामीसँग विभिन्न तथ्याङ्कहरूले त्यसलाई स्पष्टता अगाडि बढाउँछ। यसले कुल नेपालको रोजगारको 85% हिस्सा चाहिँ ओगटेको छ। यो लगायत थुप्रै औपचारिक क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ करिब 11 लाख मान्छे मात्र आबद्ध छ। त्यसले पनि नेपालको कम सङ्ख्या, कम प्रतिशतमा मात्रै रोजगारको एउटा हिस्सा ओगटिरहेको छ भने ठुलो हिस्सा चाहिँ हाम्रो अनौपचारिक क्षेत्रमै छ र स्वरोजगारको क्षेत्रमै छ।
जुन देशमा हामी त्यो किसिमको आफ्नो रोजगारी भविष्य खोज्न गइरहेका छौँ, अमरेला खोज्न गइरहेका छौँ, त्यो देशले पनि अब के भन्न थालेको छ भने तिमीहरूले चाहिँ धेरै समस्या ल्याउँछ यार, भाग तिमीहरू आफ्नो देश जाऊ भन्छ। जस्तो अस्ति मात्रै अमेरिकाले त्यो लगायो नि त, 40वटा कन्ट्रीहरूको देशलाई चाहिँ कुनै पनि किसिमको चाहिँ नदिने भनेर भन्छ। पनि जे आखिर के हुँदो रहेछ त भनेर भन्दाखेरि जे गर्नु चाहिँ यही भित्र गर्नुपर्ने त रहेछ नि त। त्यसैले त्यो बिगर कभरेजका कुराहरूले कसरी लिएर जाने त भन्ने क्रममा चाहिँ यो अभियान भयो, यो मिसन भयो।
Addressing the gathering, ILO Country Director Mr. Numan Uzan emphasized the importance of inclusive social protection to ensure dignity, security, and a stable future for all workers, especially those in the informal and self-employed sectors.
I would like to greet you on behalf of International Labour Organization and welcome to this national campaign on social security for informal workers and the self-employed. This campaign is actually about one simple idea, that every worker deserves social security. And in the Constitution of Nepal and in the Contribution-Based Social Security Act, we receive a very clear direction. All workers should be covered by social security, whether they work formally or informally, whether they are self-employed, or even whether they go abroad as a migrant worker. They all must be covered by social security. And the results are promising. Already as of this month, there are about 2.7 million people registered with Social Security Fund. And Nepal's ambitions are also clearly stated in the National Development Plan, expanding coverage of social protection to 60% of the population and significantly reducing informality by 2028. And these are the kinds of targets that can change lives, but only if we translate the policies into practice and to practice into real lives of the people that need it the most. And that brings me to the heart of today's national campaign that we are launching: Social Security for informal workers and the self-employed. As you all know, in Nepal, informality is widespread, and it's also not evenly distributed. Women are far more likely to work informally and to be trapped in informal work, and we know that over 90% of women employed in Nepal are working informally. And when we say informal workers, we are talking about farmers who feed the nation, the street vendors who sustain urban economies, the construction workers who make the infrastructure, and the domestic workers in our houses that make actually our work possible. And for many women in informal work, the absence of social security is not just a policy gap. It is very real, and it is the difference between having security and having a crisis. It is a difference between, for example, whether pregnancy means having the joy of having a baby, or loss of income and losing your job, or whether illness leads to proper treatment or it leads to asking for debt to cover the costs, or whether getting old means having a dignified life and enjoying life with your grandchildren, or becoming poor and dependent to your children. So this is precisely why we are starting this campaign with EU support under the Women Empowerment Program. Because expanding social security is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen women's economic agency and reduce vulnerability across generations. So I would like to thank EU delegation for supporting this program and making this campaign possible. Colleagues and friends, the urgency is very clear. Informality and poverty go hand in hand. While poverty among formal workers is only about 3%, poverty among informal workers is 18%. So it makes a huge difference whether you are poor or not. And as we have learned also during COVID-19, when shocks hit, informal workers suffer first and they recover last. And often it's not because of the shock itself, because there is no safety net. So yes, Nepal has made important progress for registering so many people in the Social Security Fund already, but we have to be honest also about the gaps. The coverage among informal workers, micro and small enterprises, and the self-employed remains extremely limited. Among these 2.7 million workers who are enrolled with Social Security that I have mentioned, not even 2,000 are informal workers and self-employed. So it's very, very low. And this is why the national campaign that we launched today, and what it aims to do, is very practical. Strengthen the role of local governments in extending the coverage, promote operationalization of subsidies for employers as foreseen in the law, improve public understanding of benefits of enrollment, and mobilize collaboration among governments, among employers and workers' organizations, civil society, and the media. The campaign will reach to the people through broadcast and through print media and social media and with our local level outreach. And I am especially pleased today that in today's program we include a training for journalists, because accurate and accessible reporting can directly help workers understand their rights and how to enroll in the system. So let me close by making 3 very direct calls for support. First, to employers and business organizations. Please help MSMEs and enterprises see Social Security not as a burden, but as a foundation for productive employment, productive enterprises, retention of the workforce, and for responsible businesses. Please encourage registration and compliance, especially where women workers are concentrated. And second, to my brothers and sisters in the workers' organizations and trade unions, please take this campaign to the workplaces, communities, and sectors where informality is high. Organize, inform, and support workers to register and sustain participation, including women workers who face additional barriers. And third, to the media. You are not just reporting an event today. You can help make this campaign real and really reach out to the people. Please amplify practical information, highlight women's stories, and keep focus on the results. And my journalist friends, you are also media workers, so you also deserve Social Security. Please ask for it if you don't have it. So we count on all workers, employers, authorities, local governments, and partners to join us in this campaign, in this collective effort. And as ILO, we stand ready to support you in strengthening the systems, in building capacities, expanding the coverage, and especially for women in the informal economy. I wish a successful campaign for all of us. Dhanyabad.
The national campaign aims to raise awareness and encourage wider participation in social security schemes, strengthening Nepal's commitment to decent work and social justice.
2080 साल असारको 30 गते एमओयू गर्यौँ हामीले एसएसएफसँग र 2080 साल मार्चको 13 गतेदेखि हामीले 100 जना मान्छे एसएसएफका चाहिँ टिमलाई लगेर हामीले कार्ड वितरण गरेर आज चाहिँ हाम्रो लगभग 200 जना चाहिँ हाम्रो सामाजिक सुरक्षा कोषमा अनौपचारिक क्षेत्रका श्रमिकहरू आबद्ध भइसक्नु भएको छ र यो चालु आर्थिक वर्षमा पनि हामी 100 जना थप सामाजिक सुरक्षा कोषमा आबद्ध गर्न गइरहेका छौँ। आज अनौठो लाग्छ कि एउटा गरिब जसले गिटी कुटेर आफ्नो जीवन बिताउँछ, जसले आज एक ठाउँमा काम गर्छ, भोलि कहाँ काम गर्ने उसको ठेगान छैन, त्यस्ता व्यक्तिले पेन्सन पाउँछ भन्दाखेरि मान्छेले सुरुमा पत्याएन।
सोसल प्रोटेक्सन यो सामाजिक सुरक्षाको कुरामा पहिलो कुरा चाहिँ जनतालाई जनचेतना हामीले टोल वाइज एउटा अवलोकन गर्ने भयो। सुरुमा ल्याउनको निम्ति अत्यन्त गाह्रो थियो, बुझाउने यो कन्सेप्ट नै अलिकति भास्ट नै छ, धेरै मान्छेहरूलाई यो विषयमा अनभिज्ञता छ। कि तपाईँको अहिले यो विभिन्न प्राइभेट एजेन्सीहरू मार्फत काम गर्ने तपाईँको बिमा अभिकर्ताहरूले समेत यो एसएसएफको विषयमा चाहिँ अलिकति भ्रम छर्ने काम चाहिँ सोसाइटीमा छ। पहिलो यो चिर्ने काम यो सरकारको कार्यक्रम हो, यो सरकारले नै तपाईँको सिक्युरिटीको पाटोमा जिम्मा लिँदैछ भन्ने कुरा बुझाउने कुराको चाहिँ चुनौतीपूर्ण कुरा छ। हामी अझै बल्ल काठमाडौँको यो तहबाट छलफल गरिरहेछौँ भने टोलसम्म पुर्याउनको निम्ति अझै पनि धेरै कुराहरू हामीसँग त्यो खालको प्रचार सामग्री, त्यो खालको दक्षता, मेन पावर, त्यो खालको शाखा प्रबन्ध सबै कुराहरू गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। त्यस कारणले त्यो 3-4वटा कुरा चाहिँ हाम्रो पालिकाले गर्दा हामी टोलसम्म पुग्यौँ।
एउटा सेक्टरको च्याम्पियन भयो भने उनले धेरैले परिवर्तन गर्न सक्थ्यो। ट्रेडिसनल हाम्रो एक्सपर्टले आएर क्लास लिएर यो हुँदैन। पियर टु पियर ग्रुपको चाहिँ पियर लर्निङबाट धेरै प्रभाव पर्छ। जस्तो उहाँहरू गएर हाम्रो बुढानील कन्ट्राको मेयर साहबले अरू उपमेयरहरूलाई, अरू मेयर साहबहरूलाई आफ्नो अनुभव सेयर गर्नु, त्यो बढी प्रभावकारी हुने देखियो। र यो सामाजिक सुरक्षाको क्षेत्रमा मेरो शुभकामना छ, उहाँहरू च्याम्पियन भएर आइदिनु भयो भने उहाँले गुणात्मक परिवर्तन चाहिँ ल्याउन सक्नुहुन्छ। यो सामाजिक सुरक्षा कोषले अथवा यो मन्त्रालयले धेरै वर्षदेखि लागिरहेको छ, यति लागेको भन्दा त्यो चिज पियर ग्रुपमा चाहिँ अलि बढी गयो भने त्यसलाई गर्छ, त्यही चिज हामी गर्न सक्छौँ।
सबभन्दा ठुलो चुनौती एसएसएफ भनेको कुरा के हो भन्ने विषयमा सामान्य ढङ्गले हामीले अझै पनि बुझाउन सकेको छैन। यसलाई बुझ्न र बोक्न सकेको छैन। मैले नर्मली अघि भने नि, हामी योजना सम्झौता गर्दा एउटा उपभोक्ता समितिसँग गर्छौँ, कन्स्ट्रक्सन कम्पनीले बिड गर्छ, काम त फिल्डमा त त्यही मान्छेले गर्छ त जो श्रमिक हो। पहिलो, दोस्रो, तेस्रोमा गरिबी निवारण, भोकमरीको अन्त्य, स्वास्थ्य जीवनशैलीको हेर्नुहोस् त महत्त्वपूर्ण कुरा के छ। त्यसकारण म जस्तो बुढानीकण्ड नगरपालिका जस्तो चाहिँ सहरीय गरिबहरू भएको सबभन्दा कोर सिटी हो, जसले इन्फर्मल सेक्टरमा धेरै ठुलो योगदान गर्छ हो। तिनलाई समेट्नको लागि एसएसएफको कार्यविधिमा कर्णालीको गाउँपालिकामा पनि काठमाडौँको बुढानीकण्ड नगरपालिकामा एउटै अलिकति हुँदैन कि, अलिकति मोडालिटीमा केही एक्सेस हुने कुरा र केही चाहिँ लुज हुने कुराहरू राखिदिनु पर्छ कि। कार्यविधिको कुरा पनि गरेँ मैले। नगरपालिकाले त 2080मै यो सामाजिक सुरक्षा कोषमा जोड्ने गरेर समन्वय समिति कार्यविधि पास गरिसकेको छ।
Himalay Television covered the event as part of its ongoing commitment to public interest journalism and national development.
Info Plus, for genuine information.
This initiative marks an important step towards dignity, protection, and long-term security for every worker, because social security isn't just about today, it's about protecting tomorrow. Namaste.
Info Plus, for genuine information.